Revelation 13. So we're in a story here that began with 12:7. We're starting here at 13:1, continuing on with that story. So Satan is in charge. We saw that the third and fourth stories go together. So Satan's got his 2 million man army. He comes down from Syria, down from the Euphrates River with his army, attacks the Jews. So first he attacked them with 5 months of poison gas in the fifth trumpet. Then he came down with the sixth trumpet with the 200 million cavalry. The Jews fled from him. When Satan tried to go after him, Jesus intervened. So now, let me just start reading in chapter 13. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns. So again, we see the same beast, but this time the crowns are upon the 10 horns. So this new Roman Empire that's going to spring up, 10 kings are going to have that power. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him power, and his seat and great authority. So we saw in Daniel, he was describing these different empires that would come up as different animals. And this one looks like he's a composite of all those animals. But this is the new Roman Empire. And I saw one of its heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the earth wondered after the beast. So a lot of people think Antichrist is going to have some kind of a head wound that he's going to recover from. But actually what this is, so Israel was dead for a long time. So from 70 AD to 1948, they were dead. They came back to life. It's a whole nation. So this is going to be the king of the north. So this Assyrian king, or Syria. Think of to the north of Jerusalem. There's Syria all the way up to the Euphrates River. This king of the north, which was one of Alexander the Great's, was one of his generals, got divvied up. So they fought over it. There was 4 generals. Seleucia was to the north. Ptolemy was to the south. So when you think of the north, think of Syria. When you think of the king of the south, that was Egypt. Chapter 11 of Daniel describes wars between those going on for just forever. And Israel, of course, is caught right in the middle. So rather than a single person looking like he's got a mortal wound and coming back to life, just as Israel came back, this Syrian king will come back to life. He won't actually raise from the dead or anything. I'm talking about this area. There's going to be a new power structure, a new king of the north that's going to come back in, and that's going to be the Antichrist. And verse 4, and they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? So Satan gives this Antichrist, the Syrian king, power. And there was given him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. So again, 3.5 years, and he continues. So he had like 5 months of power during the fifth seal, and now he's continuing for another 42 months. And again, this all happens at the time when the sacrifice, the twice daily sacrifice, is taken away from the people in Jerusalem. Verse 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and all that dwell therein, and all that dwell in heaven. He's going to speak bad things about God. That's not going to end well for him, but Satan has always spoken like that. Again, in Daniel is a parallel thing to the Revelation, and we'll go into that study when we finish Revelation. But Satan rises against even to the prince of the host of heaven. So that's Jesus. So he's doing the same thing here. It was given to him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So Satan's in charge. If he wants to kill you, you're going to die. And he's in charge of the whole world. He takes over this Roman Empire, this new empire that's in charge of the world. Although that empire came upon peacefully. So those 4 horsemen, they didn't really do a lot of killing. We see in the sixth trumpet, Satan kills a third of the earth, and he wants to kill everybody. Verse 8, and all that dwell on the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. So if you don't belong to Christ, you're going to worship Antichrist. If any man have an ear, let him hear. So that comes back from the letters to the churches. If the Holy Spirit's in you, you'll understand what God's telling you. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with a sword must be killed with a sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Jesus told the disciples that they would fall away. Peter says, oh no, not me. And he took out his sword and he tried to kill one of the guard that was coming after Jesus and cut off his ear. That's not really what we're called to do here. Jesus doesn't condemn us if we do fight against those that are trying to kill us, but we're not about this life. We're to be praising Jesus till the end. not necessarily going out and killing the enemy. So this is a spiritual warfare. It's not us to decide who lives and who dies. The patience of the saints, patience and the faith, that's got to be a God thing. So people died praising God, giving glory in the first century, though they were being fed to the lions. They were used as torches in Nero, dunked in tar and stuff and hung up. It's a bad time. But the Christians, people became Christians during that time of persecution because of the way these people died praising God.